VMix, we often talk about urban art and music as mediums of expression and an outlet for many things, including personal feelings and even wider social frustrations. We've chatted with graffiti artists about how they reflect the world around them, and musicians about giving voice to the voiceless. Now, both these concepts are woven in with revolutionary action in the award-winning documentary The Square, a film about the ongoing Egyptian revolution. I had a chance to sit down with the filmmakers and chat about social change and the important role played by music, art, and new media.
Tahrir became the symbolic, voice of the country. Anyone who had control over Tahrir were getting out to the mass, getting to the news stations, getting out to the world.
The Egyptian revolution that began in 2011 with the now world-famous Tahrir Square at its epicenter has been called in some ways the most extensively recorded people's movement of all time.
Everybody had cameras because people wanted to document what was going on.
Unlike so many others, this revolution was and will be televised. Digital media became an integral part of the ongoing political and cultural upheaval.
On a cultural level, people were bearing witness, and I think that in doing so, people felt that they had a responsibility to capture this moment. People would bear witness to the amazing emotional highs when when Mubarak stepped down and the celebrations, everyone was filming. When there would be, violence, or there would be camera blackouts, or there would be nothing that's reported, people were also documenting.
Numerous lenses in countless different hands provided many different views. The creators of the Academy Award-nominated documentary The Square, who were also protesters themselves, worked towards incorporating this new digital movement into their film.
The challenge was for us, how do we fit in that, because you're documenting something that's already documenting itself.
Yes.
So that's part of the narrative.
Another important part of both the narrative and the filmmaking process, felt palpably throughout the film, is the sheer uncertainty of the situation.
No one knew how long it was going to be.
Right.
It was like there was no telling where was the story going, where was this moment going. Is the moment that we're filming right now, is that the end or the beginning of a new chapter?
Exactly.
So all of that was kind of figured out on the fly, which made it, thrilling and interesting in times, but also extremely difficult to produce something like this.
To provide structure and perspective to an ever-changing yet all-encompassing story, Jehan and Kareem employed a unique artistic device, punctuating the film with murals of graffiti art.
When we saw the film, the first cut of it, we felt we need something to step back and have breathing room and something to visually describe and take you on this journey.
Yes.
So Kareem reached out to Abu Ammar, who's an incredible graffiti artist.
Right.
He's like a poet with his work, and there's so many symbols that he uses in messaging.
Yeah.
One of the best stories about that was after the Muslim Brotherhood won the elections.
Yes.
They tried to start cracking down on protesting and on even graffiti art and stuff, and so they sent a lot of the police forces to come whitewash all the walls. So Ammar took verses from the Quran and wrote them on top of the murals, and the verse said, "Beware of those who come speaking in the name of God, for they are the hypocrites," right? And so when he did that, the wall no longer became just a graffiti, it became a Quranic mural.
Graffiti was also this amazing way to, we have this tradition in Egypt where state television sort of whitewashes everything and doesn't talk about things. So these graffiti artists would go down and just start spray painting the images of these faces of people that had been killed. It was sort of like saying, you can't whitewash this. And we'll keep spray painting and we'll keep spray painting until you admit what you're doing.
And that's part of the larger themes of what was happening, I mean, I think Ahmed Hassan, our main character, and our good friend in the film, I think he says it in the beginning, he's like, the revolution, the revolution was a voice. You know what I mean? That was found. It was like the power of the voice.
And while that voice found expression through various mediums, perhaps the most traditional yet most powerful form was music, highlighted with singer Rami Assam.
You see this in every revolution and
Yes.
uprising. Music always plays an important part.
Yes.
Sometimes we call him our musical narrator,
Right,
right?
yes.
Because he hits at every point of the revolution. He had a new song
Yes.
that was bringing people together to think about things and question things. People started to learn the words of his songs,
Yes.
and so they would, sing them back at him. It was
Yeah.
really a wonderful communal moment.
And that communal awakening on the cultural battleground is both depicted in the film and strengthened through its creation.
It's the cultural landscape where we feel the victories of the revolution will always be cemented in.
You can't deny that what has come out of this revolution is going to be such a lasting feeling that if you stand in the face of what we're fighting for, we will spray paint, we will sing, we will be relentless in fighting fascism.